Welcome to Attleboro Update. Last weekend, millions across the nation came out to celebrate the 238th year since the founding of our nation. Attleboro was no exception as thousands gathered at Hayward Field Saturday evening to take part in the Independence Day festivities. Visitors had a chance to enjoy great food, relax with family and friends, and watch the annual fireworks display. This year was special because visitors were also treated to a patriotic musical performance by the 215th Army Band. Numerous city organizations and vendors were at the event, and we spoke with several of the participants.
We have the 215th Army Band with us this year. It's a real unique opportunity. They're a world-class organization, incredible musicians. I was listening to rehearse beforehand, and I think Attleboro is just going to be in for a real special treat.
Well, we're from Fall River, Massachusetts, and we're the only military band in our Commonwealth, so we're trying to get out, especially this week, and do as many performances as we can and reach out to as many people in the Commonwealth as we can. We have a lot of demand on the unit, and we're trying our best to, again, to get out to as many places as we can, so we do ask that folks do request us anywhere from 9 months to a year out. Like right now we'll book next summer because there's just a lot of demand for us. And everyone that comes to us, we don't teach them how to play music. They already know how to play music, and they have to audition to get in. So it's difficult because we're always full. People don't want to leave the band, so it is difficult. They have to come in and pass an audition, but once they do that, they're able to select our particular band, and that's what they would end up getting. So we have a few young soldiers at our school right now waiting to finish their schooling so they can come up here.
We're the Attleboro Youth Commission, and we are raising money for next year's fireworks and handing out flags and just getting ready to celebrate an awesome 4th of July, well 5th of July actually. So we start in early June at Dunkin' Donuts. All like city groups and commissions to have like their turn at a Dunkin' Donuts in Attleboro, where we stand outside for a couple hours and raise money.
Happy 4th of July!
Well, we talked about a little bit last year. It's a big deal. The permitting process is pretty extensive. There's a lot of rules that the shooters have to follow. I was down here this morning about 10 o'clock. I met with the police captain. I met with some of the firefighters and the shooter. We went over the site to make sure that they're within the distances. The size shells they use, and they need to have 280 feet to the closest spectator from a 4-inch shell. So that's why we have all of these fences set up, the snow fences set up. When they get ready to shoot, we'll push people back and nobody will be in that 280-foot zone.
And what company does this for us?
It has to go to bid. This year it's Atlas. Atlas is typically the company that does it.
Okay.
There's only a handful of pyrotechnic experts. There's not that many because it's it's a risky business. There is some inherent risks to it. They're highly trained. Today they use electronic ignition. In the past, they actually, just a few years ago, they used to light the fuses by hand. So that's something that they're not allowed to do anymore in Massachusetts. So now it's all electronic ignition, so they don't have to be as close as they used to. So if they have a dud, a dud in the past meant somebody had to go there and light it off. Today they do that electronically, so it's a lot safer.
And I have to ask you, we really lucked out with the weather, but you didn't change your plans.
No, when a company gets permits for the fireworks, because there's only so many shooters, sometimes you can't get the 4th of July, especially if you want a rain date. So, this year the city looked at options. Probably could have got it for the 4th, probably could have, but the rain date is sometimes an issue. So by going Saturday the 5th and then the rain date of the 6th, we just kind of lucked out. Most of the places change it, as you know. They either did a day early or a day after. So we're looking pretty good on this.
Yeah, we planned it.
Yeah, I tell people we did. Perfect wind, too. They can't shoot if it's over 20 miles an hour wind.
Right.
So if it was gusty, we'd have to have them do a test shot. They have to have a, I can't remember what you call it, but they have a device to check the wind speed, which they won't need to use tonight. But if it was gusting close to 20, they'd have to hold off on the shoot. But this is picture perfect. Cool weather, no breeze at all. I couldn't ask for a better night for them to do the shoot.
Happy 4th of July!
This is actually a firework that you're going to see in the sky tonight.
Wow, I've never seen one before.
This is a standard 4-inch shell. This one is made by Ann Pink Fireworks Company in Ann Pink, China.
Wow, and do you know what colors they're going to be?
Yeah,
different chemicals will produce different colors, correct?
Correct. Copper will produce a blue color. barium will produce a green color. Strontium salts will produce a red color. When you put in any kind of mixtures, you can get, it's like the primary colors, you can get multitudes of different colors.
So when you order these, if you know your chemicals and what the reaction will be, you'll actually know what color the fireworks
Yeah, like,
are.
and they also say, like, this is a chrysanthemum popping ring with multicolor pistol.
Oh, they make it easy for you. You don't need to know your chemistry.
Nope, I do though.
You do. So when you're orchestrating your performance, I'm sure that comes into play. You probably have them memorized.
Yeah, I have them memorized, but I like to play around. Like tonight, at the very end of the show, after the last of the loud booming salutes go, there'll be a bunch of crackles in the sky, which I hand-picked when I was loading the shells this afternoon. I get the product list about 3 days in advance, so I can look over that and mark off what parts I want to go at what different places. And then I set up the show like that to achieve that. I actually have one out there now that it has 600 shots
Oh my God.
in 8 seconds, and I'm actually opening up the show with that. So it's going to be a lot of fireworks in the sky in 6 seconds time. In this state, it's perfectly safe. If you put any kind of energetic material like fire to it, if you put any kind of friction, drop it, smash it, or really hard, then it may not be, but it probably still will be. Because the DOT has to test each shell and give it an EX number. And each EX number, which is right here on the shell, is a DOT shipping that says that this shell is safe. It goes through a multitude of tests to determine that the shell is safe to ship, transport, hold, handle. And the shell is constructed so the lift cup is right here. The lift cup has gunpowder under it. There's a time fuse that runs from the lift cup up into the center of the shell. There's a bursting charge in the shell, and on the outside, pressed up against the outer casing of the shell, are the stars. The burst charge blows out the stars, lights them, and sends them over into the sky in the patterns that you see while watching the show. This fuse is actually quick match, so this fuse will be gone in less than a quarter of a second.
Really?
So as soon as I press a button, the shell's going to fire instantaneously.
Very cool.
Yes, it is. The physics of fireworks.
Say that 3 times fast.
The physics of fireworks, the physics of fireworks, the physics of fireworks.
He's hired.